It's been out for a little while now, so you might have heard of the tin can landline. Have you heard of this? It's a retro-inspired landline designed specifically for our kiddos. It allows children to make voice calls without internet access. It's not a smartphone, so there is no texting and no strangers on the other line. Making sure your child has opportunities to be social and to connect with others is so important.
So joining us to talk about starting phone conversations at a young age is our parenting expert, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I love this idea. Does talking on a phone improve conversation skills for our children? And if so, like what would be a good age for our kids to get started?
Yes, it's funny we haven't stopped to think about this, but around the ages of 8 to 10, kids can really start having these conversational skills. And what happens is if they're just texting or they're doing, little things here and there, even if they're FaceTiming, because when they're FaceTiming, there's a lot of distractions going on. And if they're on an iPad or something, there's notifications and they're usually multitasking. Like there's so much going on. So having like a boring old, they're calling it a cute tin can, right? It's a landline.
Yeah.
And if you just have a regular old landline phone, there kind of isn't very much to do. And so what happens is they start practicing things like reciprocity, eye contact, reading, it's not reading the body language, but it's like reading the cadence of a conversation because you have nothing else. Like when I say reading, meaning like hearing it, right? And like getting pacing down. We don't realize it, but there's so much that's happening right now with just us talking face to face.
Yeah.
And I'm reading your body language, right? But if I was on the phone with you and it was silent and I said something, I'd say, is everything okay? Did you hear me? Right? But if you're sort of multitasking, you miss those moments. So yes, we see that we're seeing kids' communication and language delays. And this is one thing that could really help, going back to the good old fashioned landline.
So you think that's something that we should get in our homes, that it really does make that big of a difference?
It could really make that big of a difference, yes. It's one big, I think, substantial piece of the pie. And when I say the difference, it's like, let's back it up and look at how kids are doing with reading, communication skills, even speaking skills, and social emotional skills. Right? And so if you're on the phone, let's say they're 8, 9, or 10, and they can be any age, but you're starting off at those kind of ages, you have this opportunity to just have true focused conversations. And focus and attention right now is one of the most valuable things that we have in our entire attention economy, as they'll call it. And so I think it's a great opportunity. I remember being that age in 3rd and 4th grade and talking on the phone. And the only thing I did, I would whip the cord around and I would take my fingers sometimes and wrap it in the coil. But it was really nothing. It was almost like fidgeting.
Right.
So I love this idea, and they can't roam anywhere. That's the other thing. When you've got a wireless device, you're just kind of going everywhere.
Right. Getting a snack from
Yes.
the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Flipping it.
Going
that's a really
outside.
good point.
Present. Yeah,
Yes.
you're not present, and then we can kind of monitor what they're talking about. You also mentioned the fact that just like anxiety and some people are uneasy about it. So I would only imagine teens, young adults today are very uneasy making phone calls. Do you think that this would fix that?
Yes, and it's interesting about the depression anxiety piece, because one of the things that we know is that when people, remember when Zoom was like 2000, it was 2020, and people were looking at themselves all of a sudden on Zoom, people were starting to say, oh, I didn't like the way I looked. Oh, I didn't know I talked that way. And you become self-conscious. And so that's what we have. We have kids at really young ages looking at themselves in video screens and realize, oh, I don't like this about myself, or look at that face I made. So without this, we eliminate that as well. So the thought is that yes, depression and anxiety will go down, connection will go up, presence will go up, and hopefully just overall communication skills will improve and increase.
It's so true. Like it used to be, being on the phone was like,
know.
oh, I couldn't wait to come home from school and talk to the friends I just left at school, but we're on the phone, so it's much cooler that
It is.
way,
And then you have to ask permission from their mom or dad too.
Yes.
Like, hey, is Alex there? Or gosh forbid, a boy calls you.
Oh, my
yes.
goodness. Boys were not allowed to call my house.
What would your mom or dad say?
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
They were
Just hang up.
very little. Yeah, no. But I own phone lines. You remember that?
Which ones?
Like having your own phone.
I never had one.
Yeah.
My
Never had
sister
one.
did, and she
was
would
cool.
sneak
That
out.
was very cool. That was very, very cool. Yes.
So retro, but so
It is.
important. That was fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Ziegler, thank you.
Thanks for having me.